This is a fan-generated show. If you would like to support us, please go to jamieglazov.com and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. All your support is greatly appreciated.
Welcome to the Glazov gang. This is Nonie Darwish moment. There was yet another terror attack in San Bernardino, California, where 14 were killed and 17 injured. This is possibly another Islamist terror attack, but the police is not yet releasing any names. Now the question on the minds of many Americans: when will the safety and security of the American people and the American citizens be the priority of this administration and the media and the people in power? It's not just the lives of American people that are at stake here, but it's our freedoms, our culture, our human rights, women's rights, our life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. They're all at stake. The American people don't feel they come first in the eyes of this administration. They feel abandoned, and that outside people and interests abroad are given more priority over American citizens. They are being shamed and called names if they demand that their best interests come first, before foreign refugees who come from countries hostile to America. These foreign refugees come from a culture that I grew up in, a culture where mosques daily vow to destroy America and to destroy the West. So we seem to be more concerned over the feelings of people whose culture produced terrorism rather than the actual victims of terror. That's insane. It's gross negligence for the leadership of any country, not just America, just the leadership of any country, to have priority over foreign refugees over the citizens of that country. I think this is gross negligence. After 9/11, I spoke to many people in the Middle East, and the first thing they said is, let America get a taste of the terrorism that we Muslims live in every day. I sensed a feeling of joy that America is suffering. They acted as though terrorism was a natural disaster and not a man-made act by cowards and by terrorists. They looked at terrorism as normal, as a culture that promotes this kind of normalizing terror is dangerous. Some in the West today, even American media, seem to give in to this idea of normalizing terror. They say about some terrorists that these are homegrown terrorists, when in fact, if you look at them, they're mostly immigrants or children of immigrants of Muslim background from the Middle East. I come from a culture in the Middle East where terrorism is seen on a daily basis. It's normal. When I lived in it, I thought it was normal. And we are bringing in more and more people who feel that terror is normal. And that will change the face of America, of what our value system is. and I'm afraid for America. Yes, terrorism is normal in Islamic culture, but it's considered vile and rare, and a rare act, a vile, hateful act that must be stopped in biblical cultures, in Judeo-Christian cultures, in Western culture. And we want to keep it this way. It's where I came from, terrorism is in every relationship. It's between governments and citizens. It's between workers and their boss. Terrorism is inside the family. A husband is told to beat his wife if she's not obedient. So violence and terror is in every relationship, even between parents and children. And that's why vigilante street justice is common in the Middle East. They give the right to people on the street to terrorize those who violate certain norms, such as adulterers to women who are looked upon as having violated sexual codes. That gives the right to a village to stone that woman. That's the kind of law that many people in the Middle East actually want to enforce. They want to live under. When you take when you actually ask Muslims, do you want to live under Sharia law? They say it openly, yes, we want to. The majority say we want to. And are we going to allow vigilante street justice? Are alien to America. That's what the terrorists are doing. That's what they're doing inside America. They are doing vigilante street justice against Americans. And this is the value system we're importing inside America. This is their form of jihad. This is worshiping. This is worshiping God to them. Even Muhammad himself said, I have been victorious through terror. Can America accept that as just multiculturalism? As okay? If some people believe in it, it must be okay? Can America dare protect itself from such a value system? I certainly hope so. But we are all told today that America should not be in control of its borders. And who comes in and who comes out? This is inhumane. We are being shamed if we act in self-protected manner. And that is, in my opinion, suicide of the American culture. That beautiful country that I have adopted as my country, that saved me from Islamic terrorism. And I don't want Islamic terrorism to follow me right here in America. It's a gamble America is taking. But any sovereign nation should never apologize for considering not allowing in certain people. Saudi Arabia and Gulf countries are not allowing Syrian refugees. They are not allowing Iraqi refugees because they love their country. They don't want it to be influenced by Islamic terrorism. This is the #1 Muslim country in the world, is rejecting Muslim refugees. And what does our president do? Instead of shaming them into accepting their own refugees, their own people, he's shaming the American people who are who will be the victims of Islamic terrorism. It's a gamble America is taking, and no sovereign nation should have to choose between protecting its citizens and bringing in refugees from countries that vowed the destruction of Western civilization. Obama doesn't even want to give special status to rescue the Christians of the Middle East and the Yazidis and the Kurds. He doesn't want to give special status for the victims of Islamic terrorism. And he would rather bring in Muslims as well. Muslims who never resisted this terrorism and they consider it normal. He wants to bring in people who are supposed to be moderate Muslims. So who's going to resist ISIS? Who's going to destroy ISIS? Are we going to leave Syria for ISIS? We're going to take the refugees and leave Syria in the hands of ISIS? Are we really doing these people a favor? The American people must demand a coherent policy to protect the lives of American citizens. That's what we must demand from our administration and never be shamed into accepting something lest we are called names. Thank you very much for watching, and please support the Glazov gang. Jamie Glazov is giving us an opportunity to speak our minds to the American people, and we must support him. Please go at jamieglazov.com. Thank you very much.